Welcome back to more Josh-CCLP4. I'm just going to start playing Deserted Laboratory because I think this level is probably going to take me a while. It's interesting that it follows up Divide by Zero in that they're both very toggle-heavy mazes. But this one seems to have some item swapping to it, and that the recessed walls have me a little worried. I see I don't need those, so I'll probably need them when moving a block through later. So what did that button do? That cloned me uh, one block onto one button. I don't know what good that does me yet. I'm gonna need to move it to that other trap button later, and eventually into the bomb. So yeah, while I'm just winding through these labyrinthine halls of this laboratory, I'm gonna start talking about something I started talking about 2 videos ago, and then it completely slipped my mind because Suction Shoe Forest. And that would be the Eddie's dedication set, which is how cool the idea was, and how I wanted to try it. Well, a couple of events happened in quick succession a couple days ago that are definitely worth noting. Thought that trap might have been open. But anyway, um, so near the end of my update to Ultimate Chip 5, where I added a bunch of levels, 69 more to bring it from 80 to 149, two of them were little sort of vignettes. Okay, so that didn't clone anything useful. Oh, I see what I'm supposed to do here. And these were just levels where I took an exact copy of a 9 by 9 room or section from 7 official levels and 7 custom levels, and I made one level out of each of these sections. One of the goals was to transform some of the sections. So, Andrew Menzies and the walls kept tumbling down was turned from a hey, how do you get through this with the limited keys to hey, how do you remove the blocks from the room with the limited keys? Among other transforming changes like that. And then the official level one was, I think, a little less interesting because I started with Popper Dial. This is the only toggle button in the lab. Make sure the toggle wall below, next to the ice, is open at the end. Okay. But yeah, just I was trying to do interesting things, and I think I succeeded at doing interesting things with it. But then that got me thinking, that's a little bit of a cop out. I added my own rooms, and the rooms were all individual. What would happen if I tried to make a level where everything was stuck together, like Eddie's dedications? Well, I had to try it, and I finally got around to doing that about a week ago. I did it with 16 unedited 7 by 7 segments. Are you kidding me? Unedited 7 by 7 segments of 16 levels from Ultimate Chip 4. No. Alright, now we've got the trap button held down. So I'll try to work my way back up there. And yeah, that was a fun, if frustrating experience, just because I was only using levels from Ultimate Chip 4, so I only had so many levels to work with. Uh, some of them really did not merge well with others, like at all. And I was also going completely unedited because honestly, I felt that making any edits to the levels at all was a bit of a cop out with the design style. Now, I know Eddie's did that, and I know Josh is, but this is where things get interesting. Because shortly after I did that with 4, I let it sit for a few days because I had class stuff to worry about for a few days. And in those few days, Josh went and made medleys with Josh L5 and Josh L6. Uh, Again, though, he did make edits to the levels, or to the sections. So it's like, I'm going to do that with Ultimate Chip 5 now because I wanted to do that. And so I did. And it was actually a really fun level. The Ultimate Chip 4 one is a completely legit puzzle, by the way. But anyway, so after doing that, I was like, I want to release these. I don't really want to release them as standalones, though. I want to release them in a set, but I don't have a set. Oh yeah, I was toying with the idea of making a best of set. Oh hey, Josh released a best of set. Or a redone JCCLP2. So I went and I realized, why shouldn't I do the same basic thing? I've never done a best of set before. So I spent a couple days ago just going through pretty much every level I've ever made to try to pick out the best ones for this. And I did so, and it has both of these medleys right near the end, because I think that the this is going to sound a little weird, but I think the Ultimate Chip 4 medley is one of the hardest levels I've ever created, if not the hardest. Anyway, so with that done, I made the best of set. I released the best of set as soon as I had a name. Shout out to Josh for coming up with it. Even if it's not the best name, I couldn't come up with anything better, and it was better than, at least I thought it was better than Ryan's many suggestions. Okay, so what's left? I need access to a tank button, and I need to flip the toggle buttons. Tank buttons through a flip anyway. So we'll just come up this way, and alright, I guess this level's not as long as I thought it was going to be. So I need to find my way to the yellow lock. I need to remember the trap can't be stepped on. I'm not going to pull a suction shoe forest. At least I hope not. Nope, can't go that way. That was a dead end. Yeah. This sort of labyrinthine maze is really good for just talking over, because it doesn't take much thought to play it. Did I seriously need to do that with the toggles in the other state? I can go back to do so. Fairly trivially, actually. Let's see. So when the walls are in this state, the fireball will go like so when I release it. Do I need to be ahead of it or behind it? It does not matter. It actually does not matter. So I will follow in behind it just to be safe. Okay. So with one chip remaining, let's go find it. Or, sorry, let's go find our way back through the maze here. And why did I start talking about the medley stuff? I have a very simple reason why. I've noticed I tend to get very quiet or overly critical of things if I don't have something else to talk about, and that was something I started talking about but never really finished talking about. So I just wanted to do that and finish saying what I had to say before I interrupted myself. Because that's something else I need to work on. I need to work on not completely losing my train of thought. Anyway, that's all the chips. Just gotta go back to the toggle button now. And then I just run to the finish. So yeah, long level, but not a hard level. If I actually remember the way through this, I'm gonna be pretty happy. Nope, I didn't. I can tell. Did not go far enough to the right before going down. I think toggle mazes are probably one of the hardest types of maze to actually design. Especially when there's some puzzle aspect like this one has. Like, for one simple reason, really. And that reason is there's not. You have to take into account everything that can be done with both toggle states. Make sure you can't skip through anything with abusing the toggle states. It's a little easier when there's the one button like this, but it's still a very good maze, and that's very hard to do. So Speckles of Silver is another maze level. Pop-up wall rooms in each corner, several connections between most rooms, and 2 tips in every room. So yeah, I'm expecting some invisible walls in here. But this is going to be a fun maze. It's going to be even if, as I said when I was going through, I don't even remember which level it was, but I think it was mine. That blue wall mazes were not my favorite, but this is very well done from what I can see here. And I'm saying that because the blue wall sections keep the level varied. Yeah, they are a little bit predictable with the paths, just a bit. But I think that works out pretty well here. So I'm going to go in this room. Nice and easy room. With the recessed walls, this would be a really interesting routing challenge. Yeah, something really interesting would have been like something like that wall being usable. But as it is, it's pretty clear that Josh wanted to keep the typical maze-making pattern in play for this level. Which is fine by me. Like, it actually, I think, works really well with the Matrix design. I know back during mine I said that it was generally better not to, and I think I said it was generally better not to, but at the same time, I think it works well here, just because then there is that little element of predictability and familiarity to it. Oh, see this broke the trend. Which is also one thing you can do very well with blue wall mazes and such. Like, you can establish a pattern and then just completely append the pattern later on in such ways that it really surprises the player, and that I liked that. Like, so just that one little change, that one little one tile outcropping, adds a lot to the design here. And see, I outsmarted myself again. Alright, 11 chips to go. I think I've been pretty thorough about picking them up. Let's deal with this recessed wall room. Alright. So the entrance is going to be... Oh, this one's a little funky to get to. Like, this is a pretty big loop. That would explain it. Should have expected that given the other little outcropping, but I didn't. Alright, 5 chips to go. I do appreciate there's no way to die in this level. As I said back with Blue Forest Fire, deadly obstacles plus blue walls are usually not a smart combination. You have to be very careful when designing in that. Okay, so there's 2 recessed walls here. I've gotten around without them. I'm going to use it anyway. And I had to use it anyway. Like, unless... No, I had no choice. Which means, where is my last chip? I think it was up this way. Yep, it's over here. Space filling! And Speckles of Silver complete. Moving on to Life is Not a Puzzle, the final level of the video, and the final level of the Josh-CCLP4 section of the submissions. Which I have to say is one I have tried playing this before. I didn't solve the level. I remember getting frustrated by I think it was the second room. So, little room that inspired the fourth dimension. Yeah, this one. So one thing worth noting, you see this tile right here? That's an invisible wall. I don't like that. I really don't. So cool little trick here. I have the flippers, so this water tile does not need to be filled in. Or at least there's an invisible wall somewhere down there. I think it might be on the right side, actually. Yeah, so it's on the right. So you have just enough blocks, but it looks like there's 2 extras. And I remember I got that far, and after a miss push and just falling for the trap, I was pretty annoyed at it. But doing it again, I see it's not actually that bad to have to redo stuff, so maybe I won't. So anyway, little cloning room. Don't want to do anything too risky here. So we've cloned 3. Which means now I can go get this chip. Then what? Is there nothing else I can do in here? I think I'll pass... Okay, looks like from the recessed walls, I'll pass through this room again later. And with fire boots, which means what exactly? Oh wait, with the trap button pressed, that will start deflecting fireballs down this way. Okay, that's what I need to wait for. So we'll go back in later. I mean, I could do shenanigans with collisions to start clearing out down there early, but there's no real point. Oh boy. So clearly what needs to happen is that bomb needs to go, and I need to be able to take care of it with the glider. Okay. This room is a little scary just because you don't know what you need to use stuff on, but seeing that you only have 2, and the scope of this room is very reasonable. Like, it's entirely 8 by 8. If this was much larger, I don't think it would be reasonable, but that you can see it all at once works very well in its favor. Okay. So clone 1 fireball, clone another, clone 2 more. And remove that, clone a fireball. And that's it for the fireballs. Okay, so now I'm going to lose my boots and do this little maze. This is a good ice maze. Like, I like the way the thieves are laid out so that you have to be careful with how you walk through later. Anyway, now we get... Do not want the green key, which is very interesting to note. So, what am I meant to do with this room? I have a block, and we have a trap button there. I can get the red key if the lower trap button is held down, and I can do that with the ball dodging. Okay, I do not like that thin wall there. Like, I know Josh doesn't like north thin walls, but that really should have been a north thin wall just so that it wasn't buried. Like, it really should have been. Yes, that's a little nitpicky, but that's honestly a really cruel trap that late in the level. It's like... I think that the aesthetics should complement the gameplay and not like be to the detriment of the gameplay. Like, and in that case, the aesthetic of going with the south thin wall instead of a north thin wall is definitely to the detriment of the gameplay. Now, if this was CC2 where you could see the thin wall anyway, yeah, I'd say go for the south. When I ported in the pipeline to CC2, I made sure that literally everything was, like literally all the thin walls were, what's the word I'm looking for? Going the same direction. That's not the words I'm looking for, but they'll do. This might end badly. Nice, it didn't end badly. Okay, so now I know how this room works. I need to clear this path. Now, that's one thing I definitely need to work on while I'm replaying stuff. I need to work on commentary there. Yeah, I can honestly say I do not like that that is a south thin wall, though. Like, I know it feels like such a minor complaint, but it really is to the detriment of pretty much the entire level that it's like that to me. Just because if you try to go, like I did, right, down, right, so you can go right down, right up and push it there. You go right, oof, right. And in links, that wouldn't be a bad thing because you can't push the block onto the key. So even if this just was something else, or had a thin wall here, just something else that you can't push the block onto the key and cook the level, just anything would improve that part. Okay, so I have to go through like this. So I can get suction boots here, and I'll need to get suction boots to go back and grab a green key. And then I'll have 3 teeth? What am I supposed to do with the 3 teeth? Okay, so the 3 teeth get loaded up onto this slide. They'll all go up, and I'll take them into bombs later. Okay, that works. Then what's this for? Because that's my way through the room. Am I supposed to... I didn't have the fire boots, and there was the recessed wall, so I don't think I can take the block in here. But I think I was supposed to need to take the block in here? So I could push it across there? I mean, yeah, I could take the block, but I can't do anything with the block once it's there. But the levels... Oh. I was supposed to push the block so that it was on the fire so I could push it over here later. Get the suction boots, go back, get a green key, release the teeth, put the teeth onto this, put the block here, push it across onto the bomb, and then be able to proceed.
Bummer.
Okay, fine, you got me. You got me good. I think I could have seen that coming, but it is a bit of a pain to have to redo stuff. But that was approaching the end of the level, so it won't be too long now. Well, it really shouldn't be too long now. I wonder if there would be a cool route for this level that used a flick in this room, other than the flick off the toggle door. Because that just makes life a little easier for doing that. That was cool. I didn't know what that was going to do, but I was pretty sure I wasn't going to die for doing so. I thought I was going to die by doing that. I wasn't going to do it. Yeah. A cloning room is fun. Okay, so let's not be dumb in this room. Let's do it right. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of this room, just because it does come late. I'm not sure how you could see that you needed the block in the next room. I mean, you could see that you could take the block with you into the next room, but that's not too useful information on its own. Especially when I just wanted to explore a little farther ahead before doing anything. Okay. So that goes there. Get the suction boots, grab a green key, doesn't matter which green key. Now we can start working on these teeth. So the teeth all end up needing to go onto the force floors. Wait, how can I do that easily? I mean, the first one's easy. It just goes here and I wait here. The second one... And then the third one makes things a nightmare. Okay, one thing I could have done, because this is MS, would be with one teeth on the force floors, I could push the block across with a half weight into the bomb, which would make my life a lot easier because then the bomb would be cleared. But because I didn't go for that immediately, I don't think I can do that. Yes, I can. I only get one shot at it, but I can do that. I'm going to do that. So I'm only going to get one shot at this, and if I screw it up, I've screwed the level. But I think that's worth doing just because I don't see how I'm supposed to do this. Yeah. So with the half weight, I could easily take care of the teeth. So without it, what I think I needed to do was leave the block here, and then get the suction boots. And with the suction boots, because I want to try and think through what the intended solution to this room is and how it would work in links. Because you wouldn't be able to stand here. Oh, that's what it would be. You would leave the block here, and then you would stand there with the block here, so the teeth goes here with the wall here, with the block here acting as a wall. It goes there. Now it can't go down, so it goes onto the force floors. Okay, clever puzzle. I like my save though. I liked my save. So what do we do with this? So if I hit the toggle button, the teeth will blow up the bombs. I can lose my fire boots and section boots. Now, I've got one blue key currently. So if I push... so I can push a block into either teleport. It will come out the other one. So I think what I need to do is use my current blue key, push one into the top teleport, push it down, use my suction boots to get that chip, and then I can get both keys and proceed while holding a blue key. I don't know if I need the toggles in any particular state. I'm going to assume I do not. I do need to hold on to that blue key, which is a good spot. Okay. So what do we have here? Use these symbols as indicators to know what trap is and isn't open. The button above is connected to the block cloner. Really? Really? What am I meant to do? Like, I don't understand what this room is. I don't like that I can't see very much here. Okay. So right now I've got the Paramecium and Walker buttons open. Now I've got the Walker and Teeth. Now I've got the Walker Blob and Teeth. Which means now I can go down here, get my section boots, and have a leisurely stroll back to the starting point of the finish. So that is Life is Not a Puzzle complete. That was a level that I expected to take a lot longer to solve than it did, actually, even with the 2 late failures. So that teeth room is pretty devious. I do like that the hint explains how the ending room works. I wish it would have. I wish I could have. I wish that the setup of that room was reversed so that you could see the pink ball cloners, just so you know what you're going to be doing, or there was some way to see it. But in keeping the 8x8 room aesthetic, I don't think there was room for Josh to do that. And I know I've made a level with that aesthetic of 9 8x8 rooms. It was much easier and more variety than this. Another medium. It's definitely a medium difficulty level, so yay, multiple references. No points for guessing the other one. Anyway, we will move on to the first of the, well, not really the, oh yeah, it is the first of the Josh L5 levels, Alaska, in the next video, because, let's be honest here, it's gonna get a lot easier for a little bit, and then it's gonna gently ease back to difficulty, and then spike back to easy mode for the beginning of Josh L6, and honestly, these are the sections I was looking forward to playing the most, so the best is yet to come.